you know you gon' lose it. This new Snoop shit, come on baby boo, you got to get into it. Going forward to play with the cool wit. Yeah, you know I'm always on that cool shit. Walk to it, do it how you do it. Have a glass, let me put you in the mood. Little cutie, looking like a student. Long hair with your big fat booty. Back in the days, you was the girl I went to school with. Had to tell your mom or sister to cool it. The girl wanna do it, I just might do it. Hair her off with some pimp fluid. Mommy, don't worry, I won't abuse it. Hurry up and finish so you can watch Clueless. I laugh at these niggas when they ask who do this, but everybody know who girl that you is.
Beautiful, I just want you to know you're my favorite girl. Oh yeah, there's something about you. Beautiful, I just want you to know you're my favorite girl. Oh yeah, there's something about you.
When I see my baby boo shit, I get foolish. Smack a nigga that tries to pursue it. Homeboy, she taking, just move it. I asked you nicely, don't make the dog lose it. We just blow throw and keep the flow moving. In a 6'4", me and baby boo cruising. Body wagging, teary up blueing. Had him hydraulics squeaking when we screwing. Now she yelling, hollering out, snooping, hooting, hollering, hooting. Black and beautiful, you the one I'm choosing. Hair long and black and curly like a Cuban. Keep grooving, that's what we doing. And we gon' be together until your mom's moving.
Sicker than your average, pop a twist, cabbage off instinct. Niggas don't think shit, stink pink gators. My Detroit players, Tim's for my hooligans in Brooklyn. That's dead right, get the head right, Biggie there, air night. Papa been school since days of under rules. Never lose, never choose to. Bruise, cruise who? Do something to us, talk goes through us. Girls want to us, wanna do us, screw us. Who us? Yeah, Papa and Plum. Close like Starsky and Hutch, stick to clutch. Yeah, I squeeze 3 at your cherry M3. Bang every MC easily.
Take that.
Recently, niggas frontin' ain't saying nothing, so I just speak my peace, keep my peace. Cubans with the Jesus peace, with my peace. Packing, asking who want it, you got it, nigga flaunt it. That Brooklyn bullshit, we on it.
Biggie, 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 can't you see? Sometimes your words just hypnotize me, and I just love your flashy ways. I guess that's why they're broken, you're so fake. Biggie, 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 can't you see? Sometimes your words just hypnotize me, and I just love your flashy ways. I guess that's why they're broken, you're so fake.
I put hoes in NY onto DKNY. Miami, DC, prefer Versace.
That's right.
All Philly hoes know it's Moschino. Every cutie with the booty, boy, the coochie. Now who's the real dookie? Meaning who's really the shit? Them niggas ride dicks. Frank White push the 6 on the Lexus LX 4.5. Bulletproof glass tips if I want some ass. Gon' blast squeeze first, ask questions last. That's how most of these so-called gangsters pass. At last, a nigga rapping about blunts and bras, tits and bras, menage a trois, sex and expensive cars, and still leave you on the pavement. Condo paid for, no car payment. At my arraignment, no for the plaintiff. Your daughter's tied up in the Brooklyn basement. Face it, not guilty. That's how I stay true. Richer than rich, so you niggas come and get me.
Biggie, 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 can't you see? Sometimes your words just hypnotize me, and I just love your flashy ways. I guess that's why they're broken, you're so fake. Biggie, 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 can't you see? Sometimes your words just hypnotize me, and I just love your flashy ways. I guess that's why they're broken, you're so fake.
This is how we do. We make a move and act the fool while we up in the club. This is how we do. Nobody do it like we do it, so show us some love. This is how we do. We make a move and act the fool while we up in the club. This is how we do. Nobody do it like we do it, so show us some love.
Fresh like Impala, chrome hydraulics, 808 drums. You don't want none, nigga better run. When beef is on, I pop that drum. Come get some pistol grip pump. If a nigga step
GCUE.
The podcast you have been waiting for.
6 friends, 6 opinions, infinite laughs, all unfiltered.
This is that fire podcast, believe you me. It's the almighty intellect, CUE. 6 ballers on the court like a 3-on-3. And my whole team is MVP. We getting buckets, catching oops, step backs, jellies and threes. Real talk, no cap, better cop out free. Put respect on a name when you talk about weed. But when you see it, you know what it's gonna be,
Yo, what up? What up? Welcome back to another fun Friday filled with the GQ podcast. I am Shad. I'm down here from the ATL. Jump up and let to introduce the crew. First, we got Bub.
Hey, if it's your first time with us, welcome. If it's not your first time, welcome back. Either way, we hope you enjoy the show.
You're going to jump to the real PJ.
You see me in the streets, please say the real.
My bad, Steve. I'm gonna do this. I know you chewing. Got Steve coming up next.
Wait, so we ain't doing a mukbang? Nah, what up, y'all?
Yo, and our famous six man is the Tony Kukoc / John Stark / Robert Horry of the crew. What up, Jock?
What's going on? You have me on.
Nah, always, man.
Always family.
All right, so before we get into the heavy lifting of the night, which is the cancel culture topic, we got some quick hits we're going to throw at you. So let's just jump into it real quick. Here's the first one.
If you don't like me, don't write about me. If you guys don't want to see me do no exhibitions, don't come. Don't watch. I come on record and tell y'all, when it comes to legalized bank robbing, I'm the best. I changed my name from Pretty Boy Floyd. When I changed it to Money Mayweather, I started making money. You got to speak things to an existence. So y'all can write the stories that y'all want to write. I don't care if y'all write good stories. I don't care if y'all write bad stories. At the end of the day, I will always have the last laugh.
Yo, I mean, y'all know flat out, like, I'm not a fan of these Floyd exhibition fights, but I mean, dude kind of got a point. As long as y'all talking about him, y'all keeping them relevant. So what y'all think about this?
Man, if you're making 30 million or more for an exhibition fight, I can't be mad at you. You know what I mean? And it's at one point I thought it was like tarnishing his career and all that, but it's an exhibition. You know what I mean? It's just him in there making money after his career is done. I can't be mad at it.
My thing is like, here it goes. Like, yo, it's crazy because a lot of these boxers, like between Floyd, the Roy Jones and Mike Tyson exhibition, like it's making it seem like in one end you can look at it from, okay, there's more money that can be made if they just do the promotion themselves instead of getting jerked by a lot of them promoters. But then it's also making the sport kind of look like a farce in a sense to me. Like, you know what I mean? Like, because all the retired boxers are taking all the shine away from the up and coming guys. You know what I mean? Like, and nobody's talking about the actual sport at this point. We're still talking about Floyd fighting a dude from the Disney Channel.
Yeah, but
you know what I'm saying?
Boxing's been suffering though. Boxing was suffering before they started doing this.
Yeah. So you think this is helping, or is it help deteriorate?
No, I don't think it's helping the actual sport of legit fighters, but I think it's helping their pocket. It's creating a completely different. I think we should call it something other than boxing. You know what I mean? Let's not put it in. It's kind of like WWE for real.
Okay, so that'd be my point. I was gonna say the world now is a reality TV. Mm-hmm. That's the way it is. That's all this is reality TV to get likes and listens and follows and all that other stuff. Because now they're getting paid off of whatever post they put up to promote that win or lose. So when it comes down to it, this is really just entertainment television, like the WWE, like PJ said.
It's just like real life celebrity death match. Like, it's horrible, man. Yeah. I mean, I'm not a fan of it, but in the same breath, it's like he said, as long as y'all talking about him, he's still gonna make his money. Yeah. So. I
mean, yo,
somebody gonna watch it. We
got like the undercard had Chad Johnson versus a real boxer. We got Lamar Odom getting ready to fight somebody. We got
Aaron. What's the dude? Aaron
Carter.
Aaron Carter.
Right, he's about to fight.
Oh shit!
NSYNC's brother. You know what I'm saying? Or Backstreet Boy brother. You know what I'm saying? Like that's what I'm saying. Like now it's making it because I respect boxing, like as a as an art form and a skill. But now it's like shit. If the dudes that are great at it are jumping into it, why can't we? And we're the undercard. So I think it's just killing the sport altogether because it's taking so much shine away from
that's
what
like
it really
saying,
is.
That's like saying rock and jock basketball was destroying basketball, or rock and jock baseball was destroying baseball. It's just an exhibition of people that
because that was
rock and jock
that was on MTV.
Right.
Like, it was made to be like a joke.
But if people are going to pay for it, why not?
Yeah, I mean,
Nah.
it's a different era.
Yeah.
If they
I
put
don't
that,
know.
if they put that shit on pay per view today, motherfuckers would buy that shit.
Yeah.
Rock
They
and jock
might.
basketball?
Nah,
Yes.
because the big three is still with retired basketball
Nah.
players, and they still try
But
to do
yo,
it in that same sense. Like they try to still make it be basketball, just 3-on-3, because we all grew up playing 3-on-3. So they try to make it more sensible like basketball. But this
Right.
exhibition boxing is killing shit. Like
It ain't killing
But-
nothing. It's just entertainment.
I mean, in all, shaded respect, Puffy now has like a rock and jock basketball league happening literally right now. So Chris Brown's team is playing Jason Derulo's team.
that sounds like something PJ
If they
said.
put it on pay-per-view, people will buy it.
That's what I mean. It's I guess live at the moment. It's no, I ain't gonna do it. It's corny. I don't appreciate it.
Yeah, but 30
So-
million ain't corny, so.
I'm saying 30 million is.
I thought Floyd made like 100 million. I think.
I mean,
Dude
I know,
made
but I'm
30
saying
million.
he
Yeah.
was saying before the fight, before he even fought, he made 30 million, and he was going to make whatever after that. So
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah,
He's always been about that, but it's just like, and he can get away with it because of, what I mean, what he is, who he is, and that's his thing. But then, I mean, I don't know. I just think that it takes some luster off of boxing.
Any of y'all watch it?
Nah.
yeah, I saw it.
In
Pay for
Kansas.
Nah, I ain't paid for it.
Okay.
No,
Nah, I ain't watched that, man.
I ain't had no time for
He said he
that.
was there, but he was really at the fight.
Right.
Working.
Right. For his job. Of course, ringside.
Yeah, that makes sense.
It's bad, but y'all know. I mean, Floyd gonna make his money. Fights are gonna happen, and then you have the R&B diva fight on down.
We should come up with a woman empowerment record together as women.
This is my second chance, and that's why I'm here.
Everybody is here because they have something to prove. We need hit music.
How you supposed to have a vision for everybody if you don't have music?
I ain't trying to be the girl stealing the other girl's parts. The time lapse is almost impossible. How are 9 girls gonna be in a group together? You don't want to be in a group. You're obviously not creative director. So what are you? A starter?
I'm the producer.
No, I'm the producer in this house.
You don't do in this house.
That's my word.
They should go home, right?
There's a reason that you are here. Goodbye. That's my final answer. How are we ever gonna get anything done?
They're making a comeback, and so am I. It's so sweet, baby.
I didn't know BET still existed.
I got caught watching this shit. Like it came on at like 12:30 in the morning. I think Sunday or Monday. No, what's today? Today's Friday, like Tuesday. Came on like 12:30, and it just caught me off guard. As I was trying to figure out why Pam from Total was on TV, and it's like I started watching. I'm like, this is fucking horrible.
Yeah.
Like one, if you glimpse at the TV, you don't know who none of them are, and it's like for them to be arguing. The shade that came from the chicks, the twin sisters from Cherish. I was like,
I don't even know what that is.
Me either.
Right. That's exactly what everybody else was thinking.
I was like, how y'all throwing shade? She was like, my sister just found out yesterday she became a millionaire. And I was like, who are you?
Man.
I mean, it sounds like a BET reached like a making a cheap version of Making the Band. Like, the only person I recognized was Aubrey and that light skin joint from 3LW. You know what I mean? Like, those are only two. But like I said, I don't even know her name. Like, you know what I'm saying? But the thing is like, why the hell, where there's no groups out these days, where they try to like mash up a whole group of old D-list R&B chicks? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like 702 Black. I thought they was all the same group with different names. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I thought, straight up, I thought Missy just wrote a whole bunch of songs. And they was like, yo, Missy. Because that's the only reason you know them, because Missy wrote most of her music, right? And it was like, yo, these songs I'm gonna try to throw to one of these groups, they stick, right? Oh, that's right. Black was fake TLC. That's right. Black was fake TLC.
Yeah.
And they was in Bring It On.
Yeah, but the funny part is
it was in Bring It On.
You got Yeah, you got like
Yeah.
at least three members or three people on that show who weren't even the lead singers of their group. You know what I mean? That can't actually sing. So what role are they really going to play in a
Dance.
group with a bunch of
You need
other,
people that can
you know?
still dance. That's like
Right.
Dalvin, Ronnie DeVoe. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to think of somebody else. The deep voice dude from Boys and Men. Like that song. That album
come on, you know he wasn't dancing, cuz that's wrong.
Yeah, I mean, but he just like, yeah.
So I guess my question is didn't Pam already break up a group? Why would you put her in another one?
Yo, like
Touche.
low-key, all of them broke up a group.
What's
Like
up?
all of them broke groups up.
Right.
But Pam's a holy roller now, and it's like she was like, "I'm not doing nothing talking about gyrating and sexual." I was like, "Nobody will hear that from you anyway. You like 50."
Plus, she was always the mannish looking one of the group.
Wasn't she with the drone anyway?
Listen, I just know she looked like Puff. I thought that was his sister back in the day. I was like, oh man, that was like,
No,
Puff Light.
They were brothers.
Yeah, that was his young boy.
Right.
Yo, that's crazy. Monisa
Y'all got
said
problems.
one chick in the group is Ronnie DeVoe's wife. Who's Ronnie DeVoe's wife?
Oh yeah, the chick
Girl from Black.
Girl from Black.
Oh,
See,
shit.
As we keep talking about this, it makes us look like we know a little bit more about these women than we do. Like we're supposed to.
You said, yeah, the chick from Black.
Y'all know as much
PJ
as
did
y'all
too.
supposed to.
Like,
I
mean, you know, PJ know
every
who they
single
all
one
are.
of those
He's
groups, except
right
for
now.
I don't know
Cherish
who
is the only
is.
group that I don't really remember like that. I
And then the
remember
other
they
one
had a
said lead
song.
singer.
But
Who's lead singer? Like who is that? I mean, a solo act. Who was that?
Yo, there's 8 of them.
Nivea was the only one on there that was a solo act.
Okay, I know who
Oh,
Nivea is. 'cause
Nivea's
she did,
on there?
Yeah.
Because she did Laundromat by R. Kelly.
Yeah,
You know what I
yeah.
mean? That's the only reason I know.
Hold on. Oh, okay,
Yo.
but Black's first single was by R. Kelly.
I mean, Black's Black because that, like I said, they TLC light. You know what I'm saying? Like they was discovered by Left Eye.
Yeah.
Look, the more we talk, the more you're gonna realize Bub know everything that.
I was gonna say
Yo.
that
Left Front Man.
he just said
I
we
mean,
don't, but then he gonna go
TLC light.
Notre Dame.
I
he
mean,
has
look,
the whole New Kids on the Block
like,
card
you know what I'm
collection,
saying?
so.
Right, exactly. He knows what's up.
yeah, PJ.
He
knows
took his New
shit
Kids on the
too.
Block poster down before we started.
All right, y'all crazy.
It's in the back with the tickets.
Y'all crazy.
Yo, this shit, the show's horrible.
Man,
Yeah,
How
but
many
I,
episodes is it in? PJ
I
go
have no
watch it now.
idea. That was,
I ain't
I think
gonna
that was the first one.
he said I am gonna watch it.
I ain't gonna lie.
Yeah, he go binge it and he go make. But PJ, again, like we discussed, we only ones with rights to your beat. So you know what I mean. Like you can't sign up. That's what you trying to do out there in Kansas. Stop lying to the people. You just want to clear that up real quick.
That's right.
You trying to get new
I'll make a beat
clients.
for them.
Yeah.
Nah, they don't want your beats. Chick said, "I'm the producer."
No doubt.
Yeah, that was ridiculous.
All right, so running off of that, we got to touch on this week's dumbass. Let's just.
You are Dumbass of the Week Award.
This attack at a West Side gas station.
Thieves target a man because of the gold chain he was wearing. Tonight he's talking with our Tim Pamplin, who joins us from the scene with the night cam. Tim.
It was a typical afternoon here at this West Warren gas station in Detroit near Grand Boulevard. Customers coming in, filling up with gas, buying lottery tickets. It was a favorite spot for our victim, Jamal.
Next week.
Customer walks in, shakes his hand, a couple more customers behind. The guy in the black. Pay close attention to him. And his buddy, right behind. They're looking for some easy pickings, and Jamal is their target.
I hit the lottery.
Jamal won $30,000 on the Michigan lottery, bought himself a $20,000 necklace. You see he's wearing it there. He's heard of people getting robbed for their jewelry.
Yeah, it's a thing. So I was just looking around, making sure nobody ain't trying to get my chain,
But they did get his chain. He walks out the store. The suspects were waiting.
so I ran back and tried to get back into the gas station. They had grabbed me, tackled me down.
A particularly vicious attack, punching him, kicking him, getting him to the ground, ripping off his gold.
They took off running and jumped in their car and took off down Warren.
The gas station owner says he recognized that tall guy in that black top. A few months back, he was in the store. There he is in the white hoodie this time. And his MO was exactly the same. Scope out somebody with some jewels. Here, this man walking towards the store, grabs his necklace and runs away. Investigators believe he lives in the area. They're asking anybody who knows who he is to please give them a call.
That's the scene on the west side with the night cam. Tim Pamplin, local 4.
Yo.
No, he was passed out, literally.
Please tell me that's not real.
Yo,
Is that
I
real?
thought it was a joke because it sounded like Robin Leach was like doing the reporting on it. So I'm like, this dude, whoever the reporter is, you can't be from Detroit. So I was like, it must be like a BBC kind of thing, but apparently this shit's real.
For real.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, the dude literally.
Yo, that dude
130 and spent 20 on the chain.
Nah, yo, he had 30 racks. He spent 20 on the chain
run.
and 10 on his belly. Like, you know what I'm saying? Straight up. Like,
oh man. That
I don't know what to say about that, man.
Yo, because you're not supposed to like antagonize people who are victims, but
is he a
in this
victim?
case, dude.
Is he a victim? Come on.
He a victim, I guess.
You got
robbed.
30,000 and you spent 20.
No, man.
on
I mean, hey,
He didn't get one of the ball patches on the back of his
that's what I
dreads.
was thinking. He got them back dreads, and he didn't even fill in the top.
But here's the deal. I went through that myself. You gotta let it go at some time, brother.
nah, if you'd have hit them 30 racks, fam, your shit would still be out here hanging.
Like,
I have a question about when the incident happened and when the interview happened, because it looked like he was wearing the same clothes.
You look like a referee.
Yeah,
that whole shit was bad.
He ain't spending his money on wardrobe.
No, he might have, like you said, they might have came up and hollered at him after that because he was a winner. So, you know, he might have.
Yo, the thing is, he knows exactly who snatched his chain.
Right.
Yeah.
He know everybody in there. They know who that was.
You think?
Yo.
Definitely.
Well, he fell in slow motion, so you know what I mean.
Yo,
Like,
he tried climbing through he tried crawling the door. Yo, he took 8 steps to move 3 steps away from where he was, and then tried to fucking crawl. Man, that dude, yo.
Now,
He was better off just fighting instead of running.
Now, when you got an anchor like that, that's heavy lifting, yo. Trying to run with that, that's why he couldn't move. And then he just fell over, and then what happened? You know what I mean? It might have been like a scam, like Jock saying, like they might have know each other, like you know what I mean? Like, yo, take this chain on camera, blah blah blah. We split it and get
that
money
nigga
back.
ain't get that shit insured.
And no, definitely not.
Insured. That takes away from the 10,000 he got left. That's not
Yo, he does not have that 10,000 left.
If
That
you
fool's
spending
not
20
all
out
that
of a
shit.
30,000 win on a chain, you ain't getting
He was in the
that shit
store spending it
insured.
on buying more scratchies.
Yeah, exactly. He bought a whole fucking
He went the roll.
the whole fucking
Let
roll of
me
that
get
shit.
that whole roll number 2.
Yeah.
And I'm upset at how small the chain was for 20 stacks.
Right.
He had a diamond encrusted choker on.
So he got robbed twice.
Nah, but I mean, he's a big ass dude too, though. So, like that was probably like a 24-inch at least.
For
Man,
what?
you see,
It wasn't even hanging. That shit wasn't even at his clavicle.
Well, he had a meaty, he had a
Yo,
meaty
imagine
neck,
how
so he couldn't
thick his
have
neck
no
is, yo.
Yeah.
You
Yo,
see
his
that?
stomach was 2 feet ahead of his back. So you know.
He walked into the store, was like, "Give me that QB chain."
Yeah. He definitely picked that chain out like that. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Man, he bought that chain at fucking Crown.
Yo, but the thing is, if they were already snatching chains, they weren't necessarily targeting him because he won the lottery. So now the fact that the story is out that he won the lottery, he's in more trouble. You know what I mean? Because they already snatched the chain the week before. That's just what they do.
He said, I knew they were snatching chains. That's why I was looking around. I made sure nobody want to snatch mine. He said, but they snatched Jamal's chain.
That shit was dumb.
Yo, but why did he just lay there? Like, you know what I mean? Like,
Yo, see how long it took him to get there? He wasn't getting up.
He could have put up a better fight than that because he did that kick, that little scissor kick, stay off me, and to do your big brother type shit. Like, you know what I mean? Like, yo, he was too big, so they should just fell on the other bull, not the big bull, but the little bull that was helping him. He could have got.
Did y'all peep the old lady with the walker, pick up her walker and run?
Yeah.
She said, hell no.
The thing is, she moved faster than dude did.
Yeah, exactly.
Because his pockets was heavy.
No, it wasn't no pockets.
It's that chain. Just weighed him down.
Oh,
that's why he fell forward.
Man, they're gonna rob him of that other 10,000.
He don't got that. He got like $10 left. You see it in his face. That's why he was hurt. He spent all that money on that shit. And the last bit he spent on that gas. That's what he was doing too. He's like, yo, let me just fill that shit up.
That's like a joint that spent all that money on her body that still sit at a call center.
Wow.
That was a shot.
Not that we know her personally.
Yeah, that sounded real personal. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you seeing them ass meat sitting over there on a seat somewhere. Like, oh man, you still denying people, still got to meet protocol.
So she works escalation,
right?
That was just an example. I don't have anybody in mind.
All right. So Jamal is definitely this week's dumbass because that was just some dumb shit all the way around.
He got it for the year, man. I don't know if we're gonna be able to top that one. Was he in? Oh no, he was in Detroit. I'm about to say that sounds like a Florida thing to do, man.
Nah, that's some Detroit shit. That's some Chicago, Detroit shit. Like, yo, I
didn't even know he was still snatching chains. Besides, like, you know, Meek and all them.
I mean, snatching chains is an all-time thing, but I just didn't think that somebody would spend like more than half of their winnings that old.
No.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
I mean, it's winning,
I mean,
so you know, I mean, it ain't real money. Just imagine.
Yeah, if you look at it the right way, like he ain't have it in the beginning, so losing ain't really nothing.
Yeah.
Wait, hold on. When you look at losing 20 grand the right way,
He lost it.
I didn't know it was the right
It
or
ain't like
wrong.
he earned it.
Like you, exactly. You ain't go to work for that. Hey,
He did earn it.
he- like this.
He used that last nickel to scratch. That's what I was getting ready to say. He earned it.
Right.
You know how much money he spent on lotto tickets to get that 20 stacks or 30 stacks?
right. And look, and now I don't got nothing for it but video of him getting washed inside a doorway. Like, this nigga didn't even fall the full way inside the gas station or outside. He got beat in the middle of the door.
You know what?
Maybe
Go ahead. My fault.
maybe the Gorilla Glue people will buy him a new chain.
Oh shit!
Oh, she gonna bring back her goofy.
I mean, you know, you might get a GoFundMe to replace my chain.
Nobody's feeling sorry for him
at all.
Y'all saw me get robbed. Jamal.
I'll put some money on helping him out with them ball spots, but
No, I'm not even doing that.
That's a $10 haircut. Just
I mean, here's the thing, he might want to LeBron it and fill it in. So I mean, if he needs a little bit of that, we good. I got him.
They got them. They got those mixed match Build-A-Bear hair pieces.
Nah, he had that fitted on. He was straight. You know what I mean? And he had his ice because he would go hatfish everybody. You know what I mean? Like, yo, he was out there tricking with that hatfish on. Like, he was like, yeah, you know, take that hat off. Look, I'm a professional hatfish because this line is back there a little bit. I ain't even gonna hold y'all. I'm just gonna tell the truth about myself. Yeah,
Yo, I thought you were personally attacking me, fam.
No, I'm talking about myself. Look, that ain't forehead.
I did that for like 4 years, bro. But anyway, next.
Anyway. All right, so getting into the heavy lifting for tonight, we're talking about cancel culture. We all know what cancel culture is. You do something and the quote unquote public gets upset, and then we no longer fooling with you. One of the biggest people we talked about last week was R. Kelly, and y'all know how, you know, that situation went down. Kelly had a case, and the case didn't go in Kelly's favor, so Kelly got canceled. So is cancel culture okay? Is it something that we should be participating in, or is it something that is a little bit of a overstep on us?
I think, I don't know, it can, I think it's good sometime and sometimes it isn't. I think we're overdoing it at this point. You know what I mean? And I think you should allow people to make their own judgments on who they want to support based on what it is that they did. But now, you know, somebody can do something 10 years ago, and then now it comes up and they're like, oh, we're canceling you because of what you said 10 years ago. And I think that's reaching, that's taking it a little bit too far. But, you know what I mean? If I can see how corporations and people lose endorsements and things based on things that they do. I can see how you can get canceled that way, because companies don't want to attach their name to somebody that did something horrible. So, like, for example, we're talking about R. Kelly. If R. Kelly had a Nike endorsement, would Nike still be endorsing him today? Would that make sense for them to do? You know what I mean? So in that sense, I understand canceling somebody. But as far as fans, I think that's just a personal choice. And my personal choice, like many, I still listen to R. Kelly's music because his music to me has nothing to do with what he did in his personal life, even though it may. If you listen close enough, you probably will hear some of the things that he did.
You might catch a couple things.
Yeah, you probably will hear some
Trapped
of
in the
it.
closet.
But
It seems like you're ready.
Yeah. But he made some good music, man, and I don't listen to his music for what he did. You know what I mean? I just listen to it for what it is. You know.
And see, for me with R. Kelly, I'm on that same boat. Like, I'm completely against everything he's locked up for and all the everything that he did. Because at this point we know, because the allegations are ridiculous. Like, you know what I mean? Like, yo, you don't go to 7 different states and have this many things and this many victims and things like that. But like PJ said, for me, I'm stuck on the fence with him because R. Kelly's arguably the greatest R&B singer of my lifetime. I'm 41 years old, and from my teenage years to pretty much when he was, you know what I mean, like where he's at now, 41. His music, you know what I mean, right? And but his music dictated a lot of, was around for what I was doing. So like, it doesn't bring me into anything pertaining to what he might have inspired him to do it. It's more or less of the events that took place in my life. So when I hear those songs, it gives me a completely different feel. So when I listen to R. Kelly, and I don't listen to him as much as I did, but I do still put him on. My lady's not necessarily a fan of his at all. Like, she'll turn that, like she goes left with it. Turn that off. I say, yo, I mean, Step in the Name of Love, it don't really give you no type of thing. Like, yeah, it is. That's some king that you tell little kid. And and I'm like, come on, man, like you reaching. But I get it. I get it why people feel that way, because him being a pedophile and the way that we're attacking everybody with this to make sure that we get rid of this. I get it, but his music wasn't just that for me. So I'm on that.
At this point, he's an alleged everything. You know what I mean?
Because that Aaliyah thing was. Here's the thing, PJ.
He hasn't been convicted. I'm talking about legally. He hasn't been convicted.
But listen, he already did legally, it once.
No, but even the chicks that he was with came out and said, like, yeah, we did it, but we love him. I mean, that solidifies it by itself.
Now we seen the cake eating video too, PJ. The one where he
saw that too,
where he was like they said he was munching, and then they said Robert, and he looked out and said, "Oh, this ain't me." He said, "That's not me on the thing." So we know that, but like I said, the music doesn't inspire me. Like, what inspired him to make the music isn't what inspires me to listen to the music. I can differentiate what that is. That doesn't have nothing to do with my thoughts on the song.
So outside of R. Kelly, though, who else has been canceled? And not necessarily recently, because like we're talking about now, has it always been a thing? Who's been canceled prior to this?
Roseanne.
Prior to Kelly?
Yeah, I don't really believe in cancel culture. Like, people get held accountable and they blame it on some backroom movement, and like, nah, like, you did some fucked up shit and you've been held accountable for it. There's only one person I could think of who went from the public eye to he's in a cave somewhere off of allegations, and that's the boy Aziz Ansari on some shit. Some chick wrote a letter about a bad date and he ain't been on TV since.
Yeah, they did him wrong.
But you know what I mean, mostly everybody else who rallies against cancel culture or boycotts or some shit, like, yo, nah, the fans ain't fucking with you no more, and you in a fan driven business, so like, it comes with it.
So I think not a long time person, but like, if you want to go still kind of recent, you got Nick Cannon, but he got canceled by the corporations. That wasn't by the people. And even in that situation, it wasn't that he said anything that was false. It's like he spoke a truth, and they just didn't like the fact that he was the one saying what that truth was. So what happens when corporations cancel you because of something that you say?
Well, before we get onto that real quick, one thing that when that happened with Nick Cannon, one thing that he said was we should get out of cancel culture and have counsel culture. And I
because he got canceled. Of course,
yeah,
he's gonna
say
that.
No, but I think that makes a lot of sense, because people say and do a lot of things that sometimes you say something that you may not have a full scope of what it is that you're talking about. And I think instead of just saying, all right, we're done with you, all right, let's educate you. Let's tell you why you're wrong or what you could have done better. You know what I mean?
But I think that's the thing. Nick wasn't wrong in anything that he said. Like, they didn't like the fact that he said that white people went and savaged Africa to take what the resources were that they didn't have.
It was more than that because
I mean, outside of that, he said that the first Jewish people were black.
About the Jewish.
Yeah, that's right. So
he said they were black.
Yeah, but when you start talking about Jewish people, you're immediately going to be labeled as anti-Semitic, and then who runs most of Hollywood? You know what I mean?
So does that make what he said wrong?
No, it's not. It's not about whether it was right or wrong. It's the fact that he needed to save himself at that point. So if you're trying to save yourself, you're going to do whatever it needs to be done. So at that point, he went to the whole council. You know what I mean? So now he's like, let me learn a little bit more about the Jewish.
But the council thing can lead into everybody being forgiven and asking for that thing, because we do this a lot of the times and a lot of things, and in most cases, people are able to really bounce back. Like I said, like for R. Kelly in this instance, he's in jail and facing it and everywhere else. So he can't really, you know what I mean? Like he's going from state to state getting cases. But a lot of these people get a chance to still redeem themselves. So the council culture thing, like you just got to take the hit sometimes and try to come back, because America, again, loves a redemption story on top of building you up to tear you down. And then sometimes they love a redemption story if you're humble in their opinion. You know what I'm saying? Like as long as it's not the current wave. Like right now, a lot of this stuff is because of the current waves of things. You know what I'm saying? Like R. Kelly, like you said, we've been on this since we were in school. You know what I'm saying? So then when they started attacking the Me Too movement, helped play a part in this as well. Like that coincided with the whole R. Kelly push. You know what I'm saying? Like you got to be mindful of that thing. The Weinstein, all that was playing a part because of the Me Too movement as well, and that was just that's part of the wave with this cancel culture. So,
I mean, I think the built down, and built back up person would be Chris Brown easily, because that dude, he was canceled for like 6 days, and he bounced back 6 days later. He went to Good Morning America and was like, "Okay, we're done. I'm back," and they just let it go. But in the same breath, it was like they pick and choose who they're going to let back in. Like who's going to be the easy person to let back in, who's not. And Monisa just says Chrisette Michele. That ass got canceled during the Trump inauguration. Ain't nobody fooled with her since.
But she was never
who was fooling with her before?
She was
Chrisette
never
Michele
that
ain't had no problems before then.
No, but she was never on that level of these.
What's the name of her album?
Epiphany.
Oh shit, you heard it? Because
I like music. You know what I mean? But that's what we know. But what I'm saying is like, yeah, I agree with you. She never was on, like the people that we discussed, everybody here is somebody on a different tier.
It doesn't matter though. It shouldn't matter what tier you're on.
It does.
No, it doesn't. She was still canceled. Period.
Was she though?
Stacey Dash.
Yeah. See, she deserves.
Right now,
no. She does. No. Right. You know, I was about.
You said it. She deserved it.
No, I was about to say she deserves it, but not necessarily, because I think that falls into the majority. The majority of Black people don't agree with what you're saying, so now you're canceled.
By the Black culture,
right? We can't. It really can't. We shouldn't do that. We shouldn't do that.
Because we don't agree with her. She jumps with whatever. She's another wave rider though. Like whatever.
Yeah, definitely.
Like, so that's why, like, she's not sincere. So that's why people's like, you know what? I'm just tired of hearing you all together. Can you just shut up? Like, you know what I mean? Like, that wasn't a matter so much. Like, cause she just is all over the place. Now she got domestic violence cases where she's beating up dudes. Like, she's all over the place. You know what I'm saying? Like, because she's not getting that attention. Because attention is a hell of a drug too. In this
attention is a hell of a drug.
But Bob, to go a little bit more. So she was already canceled by the industry, period, just because she wasn't making any more money. That's what all comes down to. You know, a lot of these people in Hollywood, we don't know what they did to get where they're at. And we've heard horror stories that get leaked every once in a while, them doing some wild stuff to do this stuff. So we don't know on our end whether they were going to go and say something publicly and out somebody else. So we know the entertainment industry is every man for themselves, or every person for themselves. So she was canceled by her industry as it was, and then she was trying to get attention, to your point, and then she said something that made us cancel her as the fans, so to speak. But really, those people who speak out, and like Nick Cannon or whoever it is, sometimes the puppets get tired of being the puppets and being worked by the puppeteer. and they lash out and then they get canceled.
Yeah, that's real.
Who determines who gets canceled?
Oh, the money.
Depends on who it is.
Who was at the top?
I mean, just like we were talking about Stacey Dash and how Mo just pointed out, she was canceled by black people. So,
well, you said she deserved it. So
was she though?
I did. Yeah, I mean, yeah.
Like what did we stop her from doing?
Nah, because she was on BET movies still. Like I seen, I was like, oh,
yeah,
we
canceled in the sense of not so much that we stopped her from doing anything, but we just disown you.
But when
now,
was she,
I don't know
but
what
when
does
she
that
been
really
around
mean?
us for like
That's
when
what I'm saying,
was she
but what does
something
that really mean for her in her
Right.
life? Who knows? You know, probably nothing, because she was still able to make money, you know, doing whatever she was doing on Fox News or whatever it was she was doing. So in that sense, she wasn't canceled as far as she was still able to make money, but we just didn't accept her anymore as, you know, one of ours.
Wait, so we didn't cancel her when she went on Fox News, but afterwards?
No, she was canceled on Fox News.
No, that's what I'm saying. That's when we canceled her. But what I'm saying
I haven't seen or heard anything about her in years, so I didn't even know she was on Fox News. I ain't gonna-
she hasn't done anything positive in years. Like Bub said, everything that's been with her has been drama.
Hold on, when did she post for Playboy?
That was in like 2007.
Yeah,
That was last time she did anything positive.
Yeah.
I mean, who determines it? Like you said, it just it depends
Black
on
Twitter.
how big the star is, and what they do.
Black Twitter's no joke.
Mm-hmm.
Black
But
Twitter
even
cancels the
then-
hell out of you.
But even then, like they'll cancel the hell out of you, and it's funny as hell on Twitter. It trends on Twitter. But if you can still make $1, then.
But I don't think that's. I think if that's the situation, that's not necessarily being canceled. That's just taking some ridicule. So I say like cancels like when you do some shit and you just can't get a job again.
Okay, so for
Like-
right now, Chrissy Teigen, she's going through it. You know, for whatever it is that she said years back on Twitter or whatever she used to post against whoever, saying mean things. Now she's losing all of her ability to stream income.
It's weird though, because she
What the hell did she even do?
But she always did that publicly.
She was just trolling people back in the day.
But she always did that.
What did
That was
she
always her
do?
thing.
Like what?
She inboxed somebody
how
and
was-
went
no,
real personal. with somebody, but-
No, I don't mean what did she get quote unquote canceled for. I'm talking about
what did she do?
What did she like? What was she canceled
Well, I don't
from?
know. Because she had like cookware and different things in stores. So she
Can she cook?
I don't know.
She's John Legend's
looked
wife.
hungry.
Like she gets to be John Legend. Like she's one of them.
But she
She's
had
a
her
model.
own. But she had
Yeah.
her own lane. She was making her own money, and she started to.
But part of it
lose
was
endorsement.
that thing, but that's also the newest wave, like I was saying before, the bullying wave. You see what I'm saying? Like a lot of these things they tie into a lot of these waves that they're riding right now, and these causes. It was Me Too. Now the bullying, because that's what they're using. But it was always funny when she would say things back and forth, like you said on Twitter, like when her going at Trump and different, you know what I mean, people was okay. But then when they seen that, oh, she's in this person's DM, but we don't want people to be bullied. It's always about a wave. So it's really about, I guess, kind of like who they feeling, who they want to be bothered with at the time. You know what I mean? Like it just seems like insincere at times with a lot of this. Like, because people get on Twitter, and that's what Twitter's for too. People get smart with people all day. You know what I mean? Like if it was that way, you had to, you know what I mean? Like you would shut it down. But Twitter makes money off of people getting smart with, hey, Kevin Durant, you're weak. You know what I mean? Or your mom's trash. You know what I mean? Or you know what I mean? Something like that. And that's what they do. So then like they don't block their account. You know what I mean? Like just like the wave now with the cancel Trump on all social media platforms. You see what I'm saying? Like that's what they do because it's a wave and public outcry. That's what it is. That's all it's about.
So, all right. For instance, Gucci had this moment with the hoodie. They was canceled for a week.
No, they weren't.
And then everybody lined back up
No,
at the
they
Gucci
weren't.
store.
No, they weren't. Because we can't cancel them. We're the ones who had the issue with it.
That's
When
what I'm saying.
I'm talking about black culture are the ones who had the issue with it.
That's
And
what I'm saying.
Not the ones
So-
who we're not the ones who are making Gucci what they are. So they were never canceled. They had a little bit of a hiccup. That's it.
Canceled in black culture.
It
It was
doesn't
like
matter,
a
though.
week that I was like, I'm not buying Gucci.
You know
And
what?
Gucci-
I
and
stepped
Gucci
on
said,
an ant.
so
and I
what?
bet you the ants canceled me. Like that
Right.
shit don't mean nothing.
Right. Yeah. If you don't have the power, it's not canceled. You know what I mean? Like we didn't have enough power in that to actually cancel them.
You don't think that
Is this
the
a case
black
shot though?
dollar is
That
big enough to cancel Gucci?
you think?
No.
Do you think because you down in Black Hollywood, shot because you down in Atlanta?
It's not
You know what I mean?
unified enough.
So
for
is it?
one.
Do you still see it down there like?
Oh, it's only
prominently? 'Cause-
Gucci.
Exactly.
It's
See,
only
that's
Gucci. Like it's literally like the stores have lines outside of them every day, all day. Like it's Gucci everything, and from a sock to a flip flop to a full outfit to a bag to sunglasses, everything is Gucci.
And that's still not
Gucci,
enough.
Louis,
right.
everything. Like those stores have insane lines. So it's like you see people spending probably over $1 million a week at one location.
You talking about one person spending $1 million a week?
No, he said like the
No,
people.
I'm saying like
he's down there.
I mean, I guarantee you, Gucci has definitely benefited from a whole lot of people's PPP loans.
Yeah,
in Atlanta.
but you also gotta think Gucci is worldwide. So us canceling them here with our black dollar is not going to affect their
but
overall bottom line.
if they didn't fear being canceled by the black dollar, they wouldn't have apologized as quickly as they did. So they know that their consumers can definitely cancel them.
I guess to a certain extent,
Y'all don't think so?
They would lose something, but it's not enough to shut them down.
No, I mean, I think the criticism of them not apologizing was what they didn't want. They just didn't want any more negative publicity. But the apology wasn't because of us. The apology because they just wanted to get out of the news as quick as possible.
Yeah.
But that's what I'm saying. So if you don't apologize to the people that you offended, and the people that you offended are quote unquote canceling you, and then the other people around are now joining in on that, it's not the same thing.
So I have a question for you, and I'm sorry. Can I answer your question with a question? If somebody offended you and didn't verbally apologize, but just handed you a note that had a letterhead at the top of it, it was like, "Here's my apology." That's not sincere. So if somebody just put on their Instagram page, that's not an apology. That's a press release, bro.
But that's what I'm saying. But if that person wasn't worried about me, they wouldn't apologize in the first place, or even an Instagram post. Like if you didn't feel that my reaction would somehow impact your company, you wouldn't care. Domino's doesn't give a fuck if I get on Instagram and talk shit about them. They can care less. But it's like if me.
Yeah, you.
So
but I mean,
it's
there's
like
people that could talk shit about Domino's, and Domino's would be like, "You got a blue check? You got a blue check? Domino's is gonna apologize to you."
That's what I'm saying. So you have
some shit.
So you have all these people with blue checks with millions of followers who they're saying we're not fucking with this company anymore.
I mean, you got to be considered an influencer in some capacity in order for them to really feel like. But like
that's what I'm saying. So you get your quote unquote influencers, your athletes, your other label designers. What's the dude that's the lead designer at Louis Vuitton? Like he spoke out against it. It's on news outlets everywhere. So it's like if people are saying like you're not going to fool with this company because it's something that they did that we feel is insensitive, y'all don't feel like that's a big enough impact.
I'm going to disagree, and the reason I'm saying that is I don't even know what y'all talking about. I ain't hear nothing about the story or the apology or any of that.
Oh, they made a blackface hoodie with a
a hoodie with blackface on it. Looked like the shit from Gum. Like, you know what I mean? Like, but it's not surprising. H&M had the same fallout. Like the weekend left them. Like it's not. The crazy thing is, it's not even something that hasn't happened. Those happen like collectively, like right after each other. Like the Gucci hoodie, then H&M. I know, like the weekend. Like I know H&M, they apologized quick because also they had a partnership with the weekend. He pulled out of that. But they're a smaller brand than. Like you said, Gucci. So for them, it was going to affect them a little more than what it would Gucci. Because like you said, people over in Milan ain't worried about what we think about the Gucci loafers that they wearing or those tight ass pants.
But you got to think, people in Milan, there's black folks over there too. There's black people in Paris. There's black people in London. Like all those people are like, we're going to pull out. And then Gucci jumped on and was like, yo, Did not mean to be offensive. We love black people.
I mean, I think it was the right thing for them to do, but I honestly don't think that they would have lost that much with it. I really don't.
They would. I mean, but they wasn't gonna lose because we can't pull ourselves away from that shit anyway. I mean, you know what I mean? Like you said, there's a few of us that will, but like you just said, Shaw, you down there in Black Hollywood, and like you said, they standing around the corner with PPP money. Like, yo, we on it. Like, the more you hate us, the more we love you. You know what I mean? Like, it's the mentality, but it's you know, that's what I touch on that.
Yeah. That's sad.
It is.
So,
well, I mean, that didn't Papa John's have a falling out, and we got like 6 Shaq commercials. That was he got named the acting CEO or spokesperson. That was their
because
apology.
wasn't he already like him and Peyton Manning were like board members or something with Papa John's.
Him, Peyton Manning, JJ Watt, but they were only in the commercial. Once dude said the N-word, they said, "Hey, we got a black CEO, the guy that's on everything."
Shaq said he appeared on camera,
right,
quoting them, and dressed up in a dumbass costume on TV. I see every weekend.
He does that. Look, he does
real
that.
They really, they're missing our dollars.
They asked Shaq to do something he does anyway, though. You know what I mean? Like, he does goofy stuff like that without, you know what I mean? So,
all right, when you get canceled, how do you return? Is the return the apology?
Nah, you just make the Chocolate Factory.
The Chocolate Factory was before the
No,
cancel.
it wasn't.
No, it was during. It was right during.
Yep, he made the Chocolate Factory.
Chocolate Factory happened after that.
No, we're not
or
talking
before
about
that. Rather,
we're not talking about his full cancellation as of right now. But before that, he was going through he had his whole
video.
When his tape when the video came out,
it was during.
and everybody's like, "Oh man, R. Kelly did this," and then he's like, "Nah, I didn't do that because I made Step in the Name of Love." And he's like, "Oh, you're right."
But that's what they did on the Boondocks. See, you touching on the fact that that's what they did. Remember, they said that R. Kelly tricked us. He's the Pied Piper. He tricked us because he made good music during the time. But
I mean, honestly, that's all you got to do. You have to do something to distract them from what it is that you did. If you're not going to apologize, do something great.
Yeah, because
Chocolate Factory was
he's locked up right now, right?
Yeah, he's been locked up for like.
Yeah, exactly. Like, is he even canceled or is he locked the fuck up?
Because, he's canceled.
He ain't canceled. His life is over. That's all that is.
Because his music, they don't even put his music on radio no more.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, he doesn't get airplay anymore.
He has no airplay.
Yeah, they took it off of all the like platforms and things for a moment while he was still out, so he couldn't get any money from it. But like going back, remember when Kobe did the thing with Denver? They tried to cancel him for that, but he persevered through that. Like you said, for like
he changed his number. Yeah,
he changed his number. He was flying back and forth. Remember, because he did the crazy shit where he shaved all his hair off and shit. You know what I mean? Like, remember that?
Just distract them and do something great. That's it.
Right. But then they end up losing the championship that year. You know what I'm saying? Like,
but I think
Kobe also he publicly apologized too.
Nah, remember how bad it was though? Then like they was tearing him down, calling him off. But the thing was, they always knew that he didn't do what they were trying to say he did from the rip. Like, and I know, God, we speaking about the dead, but you know, like they're quick to tear you down, and then like you just have to do something fantastic in order to come back. Like he was hooping, like remember because he was flying, dropping 40 points, but going to Denver and being in the courtroom all day, and they was like, oh, well he's a great athlete for that, and they started pushing that narrative that way.
Yo, people didn't even know he was in the courtroom. They saw him.
Oh no,
they saw the first thing with him going to jail. Then they saw him on TV with Vanessa talking about he was sorry. Between the two of that,
in the courtroom, they were talking about him flying. They were showing because Bus was letting him fly on that private joint.
Nobody cared.
It was on the news.
That's what I'm saying, but nobody's paying attention to that.
It was on news, but it wasn't on Twitter. You know what I mean? Like this is what we're saying. This is where the people get canceled.
It was on Yahoo chat room.
Yeah, just because Kobe was on the news, then that wasn't canceled back then. You know, people like him, but he wasn't canceled. Same thing with Mike Vick or Mike Tyson. You know what I mean? Like, and Mike went to jail for that. It was one of them things where people were still walking around talking about Mike, my dude. You know what I mean? Like that.
Because they had pit bulls. They was fighting their own dogs. They didn't care.
But what I'm saying, that it's changed with the social media platforms and all that.
That's true.
Yeah.
So
Completely
then
changed.
That's true.
Then probably one of the bigger cancel people would be Colin Kaepernick.
Yeah, but
Like,
nah, that's
got
blackball.
off
That's
from
different.
here.
He got
What is
canceled
the
as well.
difference?
What is? Yeah, I was gonna say,
Well,
what is the
I think
difference?
the difference is because we
So
can
it's blackballed if it comes from white people and it's canceled from black
Yep.
people.
Blackballed is if you're no longer allowed or able to make a living or a living the way you used to. You know what I mean? Like people get canceled all the time for a week or two just because of something that they said. And like I said, they do something great and then we're like, all right, cool. They didn't even allow him to a chance to actually get back to where he was.
Right,
He
right.
was blackballed.
So when they stopped playing R. Kelly's music on the radio, they blackballed him. So
No.
my initial statement of him not being actually canceled.
No. I feel like that's different though.
Now R. Kelly
I don't
was
see
now,
how.
'cause
So
when they stopped
basically,
playing his
what I'm
music
hearing
on the
is
radio,
like,
hold on real quick, Sean. I just want to touch on that thing Steve said. When they stopped playing his music on the radio, he was still allowed to go on tour. He was canceled. He was blackballed once that right before he went to jail when they said he couldn't go on tour anymore because that's where he could make his money. You know, playing his music on the radio wasn't really killing his pockets when he stopped going because he was still paying for his defenses with that. You know, because he could go in and sell out arenas. Remember, that's when they started having those concerts and those people were having those big protests outside the concerts. And that's when I think he officially got, you know, blackballed or canceled or whatever you want to say at that point. Because taking it off the radio don't mean nothing. We don't listen to everybody's songs all the time, period, anyway. So, but you don't, and he didn't ever to make the money. He never made money off of just his songs only because he didn't own it. But the shows is where his performance and where his money would come from.
so with all that said, is it fair to say that black culture cannot literally cancel anyone?
Yeah,
we're forgiving. We're very forgiving.
Too forgiving.
Is it forgiving or is it just not caring at a certain
I feel
point?
like forgetting about the whole situation on some real shit. You know what I mean? Like
we don't forgive people.
Once we move on to the next, and again, I feel like this plays into society as a whole now. You know what I mean? Like we get distracted by something else, and it's on to the next thing. Because just like somebody said earlier, it's a wave. So once that's over and you're out of sight, out of mind, we don't really care anymore. So if you do get your little pennies over here, you start making a little bit of noise. We're on to the next thing anyway. So you're not necessarily canceled anymore. We just don't care. We're on to the next one.
Like Kaepernick, he really is still eating because he has a Nike contract. You know what I mean? And he's making money. You see what I'm saying, PJ? Because like to Jock saying, like we do live in an instant gratification type society right now where everything is based on that. But he's really eating. You know, he got the settlement
from the league though.
But I can't say that. I think he's blackballed from the league because of his own choice at this point. Because he had his tryout and he was like, "Fuck y'all, I'm not doing it
Was
here
that
under
real?
these conditions."
No, he did kind of screw that up, but I don't know if that was even real.
I think there were teams that were willing to give him a chance to make their team look good. Like the owners wanted to look good for that. They probably would have made him like a third string quarterback just to be on the team so that they can say that we brought him back. Might increase some of your fans, but in the same breath, it's like they're not going to want him on the team, and especially after that, it's like you're still quote unquote causing trouble. So even in this moment where we're trying to quote unquote give you a chance, and again, that only happened because of Jay-Z. So we're trying to quote unquote give you a chance, and then this is what you do with the chance. I don't want to be there.
Okay, so what about? Okay, go ahead, Jock.
Shy, I got a question for you. How many employees have sued their boss and then walked back into work to assume the job that they had after they won the settlement of getting fired?
I had
not
one.
Many. So
not many. No.
So what I'm saying is like when he won the settlement, that was his walk out the door. That was his severance pay.
Yeah.
To walk out the door. So all the stuff that happened after they paid him that money, that was all for show. All for show.
I don't believe that.
I could dig
I think he still wanted to be in the league, and I think he still potentially.
I'm with Jock on that. Like I don't necessarily think you wanted to be because then after that, because like now the cause is even it's intensified even more. Like you said with the social media again. I'm talking about even with this police brutality. Like I mean, you paid. You can do stuff. You can say, you know what I mean? Like,
You're
take this opportunity. But
you're paid, but you're an athlete. Like your life is driven by winning. It's driven by playing. Like no athlete wants to leave the league.
He did.
There's not anybody playing that's like, yo, I can't wait till this year's over so I can quit. No one.
I mean, we did have 2 dudes quit in the middle of games in the last couple years, so
Just don't.
yeah, I mean that's a real thing. But
These
what I'm
new
saying
dudes,
is when he
but these
got
new
his
dudes are there. New dudes are there for money.
okay, I can agree.
You got
with
folks that literally like they leave on walkers and in wheelchairs and shit because they don't want to stop playing. Same reason Tom Brady's still playing. He don't have nothing to prove. He doesn't want to stop. You're a winner. You want to win. Colin was at the top of his career, and it's like now you got to leave. That's not a choice.
I'm going to say I hear what you're saying, but what I think is when it happened to him, I think he was upset, but at the same time he knew he'd still get his money because he's relevant because he's always in the news. So then he got his severance package, and then I mean there's at least 2 teams I can think of where he turned down going to try out for them. So he didn't want to get back in because there was 2 contracts that sat out there for him for almost 2 years.
We say he didn't like the conditions of them.
Then go ahead.
That's what I'm saying. He literally he screwed himself with like his actions, but the league or the teams were trying to bring him in to show. It's basically like you bring your black friend over to a barbecue to say I have black friends. So it's like we're not racist. We got Colin
and the Tom Brady.
Colin's in Dallas. We're not racist.
So what? Since we're on a sports topic of being canceled, what about Ray Rice? What happened with that then?
He beat his girlfriend up.
Okay. And that was horrible. You know, and the thing that got him is because we got to see it, right? And how brutal it looked. But how many other people in the league have done the same thing?
It goes back
They've
to
all
what I
done
said
it.
before.
Dude, Ben Roethlisberger raped the chick.
Real quick, I just want to touch
2.
It's the wave. It's the
2.
wave. Remember, we was on the domestic violent wave at the time too. Remember? So if you look at a lot of these cancellations, it's always what the wave is at the time. You know what I mean? Because who else was it? It was somebody else famous at the time. It was like, oh, well, it's different because we didn't have the video footage. We just had the footage of Ray Rice knocking her out. And then you see that she's like 5'2", like 120. And you know, he's a running back. Even though he's small.
He's like 5'3", 220.
Regardless, he's like 5'7", but she was still like petite, but they had it on him. But then, like you said, there was a couple other athletes, a couple other people at the time, celebrities who had got in domestic disputes, but they didn't have the footage. So you got to actually see him hit her. You know what I'm saying? Which was like, oh man. And he was also slowing down. Don't get it fucked up.
He wasn't at the top of his game.
I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that he was going to be in the league for years after that and being a great contributor, but he never got the chance.
But that's what I'm saying. So
because he was already on the backslide, he wasn't beneficial to nobody.
But that was after Big Ben had his little moments, but it seemed like drug rehab or something, and let him back in at the next game. He wasn't even suspended.
Who, Ben?
Yeah.
Now he would take chicks to. He had personal security by the state police, and would have the women in the bathroom stall. That's what they was calling Rapelessburger. But during the Ray Rice incident. Allegedly. It was a lot of domestic. It was a lot of domestic disputes going on at the time. Like that was the wave for them, and he just was also on the downslide. Like remember, he had like one of his worst seasons going into that year, so it was like, all right, he's dispensable anyway.
He was dispensable, and he played for Ravens.
I mean, he was never picked back up. We've seen dudes take chicks' heads off. Brandon Marshall was in the league always, you know what I mean? Then he went and got a mental health treatment. You know what I'm saying? Like, and there's a lot of guys that get into these types of things. And like you said, if you're still productive, they're going to let you still make your money because they're going to say that's part of your mentality because they'd rather have you as a warrior. Greg Hardy what did he do? Matter of fact, that was the other person. Greg Hardy he paid off how many chicks in them circumstances? You know what I mean? He tried to choke her, drown her underwater and all that. And paid her off. And then the Cowboys said, you know what? Jerry was like, yo, come on this team. No matter how much people fought it, it didn't matter. Somebody paid him. Ray Rice just wasn't productive.
So you think with that footage, had that been
Nope.
Tom Brady.
Nope.
No, not
think he
Tom
would've
Brady.
Nope.
Not Tom Brady.
Yes.
They would never kick Tom Brady out the league.
Man, if Tom Brady
with that
hooked off on Giselle in the fucking
Huh?
If Tom Brady hooked off on Giselle the way fucking Ray Rice did, yes, he would have caught the same shit.
No, because Solange
That's America's all-American white boy.
Like
he is not getting canceled.
Solange got off by stealing on Jay-Z, and nobody said nothing about it.
She hit him.
Right, but it's still domestic violence.
His wife.
It's still domestic violence.
It's Tom Brady.
Jay-Z
It
is
ain't
just
gonna
as
happen.
big. He's a billionaire and got teed off by his by his wife's sister.
It ain't gonna happen.
His sister-in-law was kicking him. That's a lot different than if he would have hooked off on her.
But that's the problem. Domestic violence is domestic violence. You telling people not to hit, like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Correct. Keep your feet on the ground.
I'm not disputing that.
I got a
but
whole
the
lot of beatings for
truth is
keeping
the
my feet
truth.
off the ground. But I'm saying, all right, so that's Tom Brady. Ooh, you got a dude that literally gets on air talking about raping chicks and he becomes the president. Tom Brady is like that's classic
he didn't know he
all-American
was
white
on
boy.
air.
He will never get kicked out the league.
I'm gonna say this: if Chris Brown can bounce back from the Rihanna incident, Tom Brady's he's not even going to fall backwards.
That's
gonna
different.
It's not different.
Chris Brown was really young when that happened.
That don't
But he
matter.
bounced back, though.
Yes, it does. It
He
makes
beat
it
the
makes a difference.
well, my grandma say you beat the cow walking shit out of somebody.
No, I agree with that, right? But what I'm saying
Like-
is you have he had there's more time to correct the situation. Tom Brady is a dude who he knows what life is. You know what I mean? He knows exactly where he is, what responsibility he has, what role he plays in this world. So if he made a mistake like that, I think the impact would be a lot bigger.
No,
He's
I think it'd be a whole lot.
No,
I think it'd be a
he's
whole
letting
lot
of
smaller.
people. No, it wouldn't, because he's letting a lot of people down.
One, his
Yeah, he's
PR
on a higher
team in
pedestal.
itself
He's on a
would
higher
smooth it
pedestal.
over as much as possible. The media would not report on it to the same way they report on Chris Brown. Like Fox News would be finding they would be finding all his highlights, all the great stuff that he's done in the community, the fact that he goes and donates money at the food bank, everything positive that he does, they would highlight to try to take over the controversy of him actually hitting Giselle.
The devastation with Chris Brown was because it was Rihanna. If that had
the devastation with Chris Brown is because they didn't want him anyway.
Who?
Media didn't want Chris Brown in the light. Chris Brown was becoming like the new Bobby Brown. Like he was the quote unquote troublemaker of that time.
He wasn't. Not at the time.
Yes,
he was.
Not
No, he
then.
wasn't.
Yes, he
He
was.
wasn't.
Nah, he was
No,
doing
he wasn't. He
experiment
was-
commercials.
When he
that's
put
why
out that
he had
spray paint
experiment
graffiti
commercial
album,
then. Huh?
Nah, that was the bounce back. That's what
Yeah.
got him the Oscar.
But
I mean the Grammy.
before
But
then-
nah,
before
he was
then-
on.
He
Chris
wasn't
Brown
the
was in
bad boy
movies.
before that.
Right. He was
before that.
Remember he did
Chris
this
Brown
forever.
was-
No, he did
he
the
was drinking,
experiment gum
speeding.
commercial. But he was a poster child forever. He was on all types of
Yeah,
stuff. at the
it wasn't
time.
until after that situation when he embraced the whole blood life and became the bad boy.
Nah,
Right.
Chris Brown and Justin Bieber at the same time were doing dumb shit, and they stayed on TMZ.
That's
which is
different,
why
though.
when it happened,
No,
it was
but-
like
but
got
they
him.
they were being kids.
It don't
So
matter.
it wasn't. No, but what I'm saying is they weren't doing anything like serious. You know what I mean? Justin Bieber was peeing in a bucket. You know what I mean? Like that. It was just mischievous things that they were doing.
Right, and then also they're like 19 and 20 years old, so they're saying, "Oh, I peed in a bucket," you know what I mean, or "I peed in a bottle," you know what I mean. Like so, but Chris Brown was he was in movies, he was in.
But what I'm saying though, it had
but
a lot of it had to do with Chris Brown and he beat up Rihanna, who was a huge star in that, right? But imagine had it been at that same time, Chris Brown beat up Carucci. It'd have been a completely different story.
Well, no, because remember him and Carucci technically had that whole.
No, I'm talking
thing with
about
her.
I'm
At
talking
that
about
time?
during the same time. During the same time, like we didn't know who Carucci was. So
Right.
basically, if he had a girlfriend that we didn't know, it would have been a different impact.
Nah, Ray Rice had a girlfriend you didn't know.
Yeah,
but he's an
nobody knows
athlete.
who the fuck she is.
We had video.
That's what I'm saying. Nobody knows who she is though. So it's like the same photos came out.
Yeah, you don't.
The same photos comes out.
You know how she fell.
But the same photos come out, and it's like
It wasn't
Chris Brown
photos.
did this to me.
There's a video. It's different.
That was
different.
one swing.
Yeah, but
You
think
saw
about
the
how
swing. You saw her head bang off the side of the elevator.
Plus,
did he hit her head on the elevator?
Nah,
you
plus
saw
the
him
stigma.
drag her the fuck
I'm
off
trying to
the
play devil's
elevator.
advocate with this. It ain't
Like
gonna
you
work.
got to understand. You've seen all this. Like he hooked off on her. She hit her head. He dragged her off the elevator. You saw all this. You didn't hear about it. You didn't see pictures of any of it. You seen the whole thing. That shit's crazy.
Plus the fact that he's a football player. Like, you know what I mean?
Wait.
Like, so he's like football players
But-
are heralded as gladiators. You know what I'm saying? And he's a running back. So he's the take compact. So you sit there and see him tee off on a little ass woman and see it in full fledged. You're like, wow, like this dude practices against Ray Lewis. You know what I'm saying? So see him
before the
see
video
him
came
practice-
out. Before the video came out, it was just the story.
Right.
Right. So before anything else, if there's a photo with the story, you're saying it doesn't hold the same weight as just watching that video?
Nah, because when Greg Hardy,
you can
they
dispute
had
the photo too.
So if it wasn't Rihanna, you saw those pictures, you wouldn't have a feeling about Chris Brown.
No, what I'm saying, it's not me personally, but I'm just saying it would be disputable. People would be like, oh, did he really do that? She might have did that herself.
They did that
Who
with
knows?
Rihanna. The first question with Rihanna was, well, what did she do to make him do that?
Oh yeah, right. That is true. That is true. They did, and people took sides. It was like, all right, you're either team Chris Brown, team Rihanna, whatever. But ultimately, it made sense. Chris Brown. Did
Bottom
it.
line,
right?
If Tom Brady beats up Giselle,
In the elevator.
Fox News will have him on there tomorrow. Like, so tell us about your practice regimen.
I don't.
Yeah,
I don't believe it.
I guarantee you, Tom Brady would not catch the heat that a black person would catch in that situation.
Tom Brady
At
would
all.
walk away. His career would be done.
He would not walk
It
away.
wouldn't.
He would be in the next season, first game.
No, he get a
He
4
wouldn't,
game.
he wouldn't even get the same suspension that Ray Rice got.
He get a 4
That
game.
5-game, what is it, like a 5-game automatic suspension? Not happening. I'm not playing for 5
Tom
games.
Brady,
Find something else.
Tom Brady broke his phone when they were trying to have the FBI investigate what was going on, and then they still found his script, and they'll only suspended him for 4 games.
I'm saying, dude, no,
he's different, man. Like
Tom
his
Brady is
circumstances
the
different.
NFL. He's the NFL.
Right. So you can't have the NFL on film punching his wife.
I bet you can.
Hey.
I bet you can. And I bet you the NFL would have a domestic violence ribbon that they put all on uniforms. And Tom Brady would be playing in game 1.
Then Robert Kraft would take him to his favorite massage parlor.
Oh,
That's petty, yo. Oh man. Yo.
I know you're stressed, bro.
Banned from TV. Banned from TV.
Oh. All right. So just to wrap up, cancel culture sucks. Cancel culture sucks. Ultimately, as the black community, do we feel that we don't have the power to cancel anyone, and is that more of a new generational type thing, or is it just that, you know, again, we don't care long enough? So I think that's the question we have to like ask ourselves, you know, moving forward. How does everybody feel about canceling?
I don't think we cancel anybody. I think we put people in timeout. We put them in timeout, and then we were like, all right, did you learn your lesson? All right, come on back. You know what I mean? And I think there's only certain situations where people should, I can't even say truly be canceled, but you know, like, and I don't want to get back into a big topic with this because I know we're wrapping up. But
We're
like,
not gonna let
example, for example, like Jason Mitchell, he got kicked off the Shy. You know what I mean, for misconduct. So I understand if there's a misconduct that's causing people at your job to be uncomfortable, or you're doing things to mess up, you know, everyone else around you. I can understand how you can get kicked off.
Wait,
and then other people might.
But the Shy is Lena Waithe's show.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well,
she kicked
yeah.
him off.
Right. But what I'm saying is, but he started to lose. When have you seen him since then?
Yeah, he got kicked off. He lost that
a bunch of
Netflix
stuff.
special.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He lost a bunch of stuff off,
and his manager got rid of him.
But
too.
again, that's what I said in the beginning. It's not cancel. Like, it's accountability. Like, like if like he was making motherfuckers uncomfortable on set, who wants him on set? Like, and you can't do the job without being on set. Like, you ain't be get canceled. He was doing dumb shit.
Yeah. So in a sense like that, I understand how this works. But if you just say something, you post something that people don't like, again, we put you in timeout until we feel like you learned your lesson, and then you're back.
You think about that with I know I said it a few times. Roseanne, like she got kicked off her own show, you know, for saying all that pro-Trump shit, and then like they just kept running the show. You know what I mean? Haven't brought her back. Like she hasn't been on shit since. So you think she's gonna come back at some point? Maybe when she's old as hell.
And nobody cared that she was coming back in the first place, so that don't count.
Yeah, but
like,
they did because they brought Roseanne back, and it's still running.
The show running because they don't need her.
Yeah, and I think they felt like they were going to lose too much with keeping her on there, right? So that why that decision was made. But at the same time, everybody has the right to be pro-Trump or anti-Trump, whatever it is.
It wasn't Trump. It was the racist shit she said about
her black
girl,
grandchild or something.
No. It was some chick in the Obama administration. She said that she's what happens when ISIS mixes with the Planet of the Apes.
Oh, I remember that.
Oh, Valerie. What's chick's
like,
name?
That's what it was. Like the Trump shit was fine. It was she did that. So you know what I mean.
Yeah, that everything Trump related, especially like in Hollywood, that's more like an industry thing. Like the industry doesn't.
Well, at the moment, that's when they had
publicly
just awarded. Named the president of ABC. It was a black woman too on top of it. So, like I said again, that happened at the same time when we was at the beginning.
But I was
of the
on
pandemic,
Ambien. Ambien made me racist.
You know, yeah. So, but I don't think you can call. I'm with PJ. You can't cancel people. People come back, and like I said, America loves redemption. So we'll always like the underdog story, like being on top and fun. Like that's what we are, which is stupid as hell. Just teach people the right way the first time. And stop excusing them so they don't get so arrogant that they do shit to get to that point.
Like Kanye.
His shit gonna be cold when he come back with that new album. Like that shit's gonna be bananas.
I'm waiting for it. Did you call it Steve? Dead mom Kanye?
Nah, this would be dead marriage Kanye.
Oh shit.
I agree with Bub. I'll be honest with you. I don't think the public can cancel anybody anyway. It all comes down to the corporation. It all comes down to money. And the fact is that if they wanted to bring them back, they will create a marketing plan and a PR plan and all that stuff to bring that person back. So really what it is do they feel like investing the money in you to bring you back, and are you worth it? Because if you're worth it and they can see that money that they're going to get, then they'll bring you back. They don't care what the public thinks. In all honesty, it's the corporations that run this. It's not the people. So, I mean, they can start out with putting them on small commercials, and then they make a guest appearance, and then they make this, and then they have a show over here on the third ESPN Ocho. You know what I mean? And then slowly build back. And then again, as a society, we've already moved on or forgot about that, or we just don't care. So I don't think people in society can cancel somebody. I think we just go with the flow of what's going on right now.
Nice. Steve.
Oh man, I told you this shit don't exist. So, you know, like there's no such thing as cancel culture. It's just people gave a nice name to all of a sudden people wasn't used to being held accountable. And then when they had to act like it was some new phenomenon.
There we got it. All right, y'all. So let us know what y'all think about cancel culture in the comments, as well as the quick hits and dumbass Jamal for getting his chain snatched. And then we'll catch up with y'all on the next show.